Next, we move on to specification number 2. Specification number 2 tells us to explain the relative thickness of the muscle walls of the left and right ventricles and of the muscle walls of the atria compared to those of the ventricles. For this, we will be studying the thickness of the heart's chambers. On the right side, we have the right atrium and the right ventricle. On the left side, we focus on the left atrium and the left ventricle. By comparing these chambers, we can understand how the thickness of the walls relates to the function of each part of the heart. First, let's compare the relative thickness of the muscle walls of the left and right ventricles. The left ventricle has a much thicker muscular wall than the right ventricle. The reason for this difference is functional. The left ventricle needs to pump blood to the entire body through the systemic circulation, which requires generating high pressure to overcome the resistance of the systemic arteries. In contrast, the right ventricle only pumps blood to the lungs through the pulmonary circulation, which is a much shorter distance and offers less resistance. Because of this, the right ventricle does not need as much force, so its wall is comparatively thinner. Next, let's examine the relative thickness of the muscle walls of the atria compared to the ventricles. The atria have much thinner walls than the ventricles. This difference exists because the atria only need to push blood a short distance into the ventricles, which requires very little force. In contrast, the ventricles must pump blood either to the lungs or throughout the entire body. To do this effectively, they need thicker and stronger muscular walls to generate the necessary pressure for blood circulation. So we conclude that the left ventricle has the thickest wall, followed by the right ventricle, and the atria have the thinnest walls. Wall thickness reflects the force needed. The left ventricle pumps blood to the whole body, the right ventricle only to the lungs, and the atria just push blood into the ventricles.